How you guys doing, man? Welcome to Deadman Story Hour, whatever this stupid shit is. God damn, man, I swear. A Xanax and booze yesterday was great. We know it's even better going down to Fox Meadows Trailer Park over there in Alvin, Texas. Trailer 85 is where it's at, man. Trailer 85. You go there and you get hooked up, all sorts of stuff, everything you need, anything you need, man. Snow White was there. Snow White was there. Oh, man. There was a nice poker game there. I made it alive, so I didn't lose, right? It was not high stakes. It was alright. It was alright. The entertainment, though, was the MILF that was there. Just whoring out her 18-year-old daughter. I didn't get any of that. Alright, I'm faithful. Alright, man. We're gonna read some stories. I'm gonna read you some stories, kids. Gather around. Gather around. This is my community service, okay? New year, already been a bad boy. My community service to read you horrible stories. This is from Deadhead. They never really specified what I have to read you guys. I just have to read anything. It's alright. I read my stories. You don't have to get yourself a copy. It's fine. Pretty much can end up reading all these stories anyway. But it's there. Amazon. Where else do you buy books? Come on. Where else do you buy books? Alright, let's go ahead and get that grift crap off the screen. It pains me, man. It pains me so much. I gotta tell you what. That MILF, though, man, she has some big ass titties and a big old white ass that did not quit, man. I gotta tell you, man, embracing the gunt, living the gunt life. Living the gunt life. I gotta tell you, my life is getting better. Already I can see changes. It's much, much better. I don't have to deal with my wife as much. I don't have to deal with the kids as much. Life is easier when you don't have to be a parent. Who donated? Who donated money and why? Keep your goddamn money. Keep your goddamn money. Keep your goddamn money, you greasy simp. I'm just gonna snort it. Ow, 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 ow. Do it some more. L me some more. Come on. Come on. Make it harder. Shower me with L's, you son of a bitch. Alright, let's read some fiction. Or maybe one day I'll tell you about the story of what was happening to Trailer 85. Okay. Our story today is not as dark as Mother of the Year. It doesn't have anything to do with kids getting messed up or butt fucking. It is a dialogue, okay? It is a moment where, well, it's like Judgment Day. Judgment Day has come for this piece of shit. All right, so you gathered around here. You ready? The story's called Die. And the cover is really just the letters die with a cocaine. This one I actually released as a short story. It actually did okay. And people reached out to me and was like, "Are you all right, man?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm all right. I'm good. I'm good." Like that. There you go. Anyway, the story goes, "Happy birthday, Stevie," my mom said to me, grinning as if this was the happiest moment of her life. She held a covered serving tray in her hands. The light reflecting off its metallic surface made it appear like a gift from the heavens. My eyes darted between family. All of them stared at me with such attention that I couldn't ignore the cold sweats of nervousness. My father, dressed for business, stared at me like an employee who was about to fire. My sister, dressed in a yellow summer dress, held a glass of wine near her lips, waiting as if she would miss something she would never get to see again. "Mom, what's this?" I asked, words tossed out with a grin. "Oh, just a little something for my special little boy," she said, placing the tray in front of me. "Come on, you're embarrassing me," I said, glancing at Tabitha, my fiancée. She looked away. Why did she look away? My mother's smile soothed me. Not smooth. Geez, hard to read after all that. It was Maker's Mark last night, man. Maker's Mark and cocaine. All right. While her wide blue eyes began to creep on me. "Funny you should say that," she said, as she removed the metallic cover. What was this? How could this be? Under such an innocent cover were lines upon lines of white powder arranged to spell the word die. What the fuck? The words escaped me while I stared at the oddity. "Watch that mouth of yours," said father, pointing a finger at me. "You disrespected the family for the last time," said mother, sitting down in her chair as if she was royalty. She reached for her glass of wine and began sipping, and said, "Do your family the courtesy of snorting yourself dead." With my mouth agape, I scanned the table to find that all of them nodded in agreement, even Tabitha. "No," I said, shaking my head. "I'm not doing this." "Don't you talk back to your mother, young man." My father looked at me as if he was about to pounce from across the table. "You do the one good thing you can ever do and just die. Just die." "I don't know why Mom lets you live," said sister, before drinking her wine. "Sweetie," said Tabitha, her soft voice coding something sinister, I turned for Tabitha to find her shaming me with her eyes. We need you to just die. What the fuck is this? Watch that goddamn mouth of yours, son. My father roared. You say one more goddamn fuck bomb, and I'm coming over there, and I'll force you to snort that Colombian sugar. Now do us all a favor and die. Daddy, my sister said, her words perched on her father's ear, while she looked right at me. Maybe he should just do it. He obviously likes just wasting everyone's precious time just by living. Am I being pranked? I moved the curtain behind me, checking for rigged cameras or B-list celebrities, but there was nothing but a window with a great view of a quiet summer day in a wealthy subdivision. It's not a prank. It's not a prank, sweetie. Tabitha's words were oddly soothing as she placed a hand over mine. You need to die. Just die, son, said Mother. Mama, you should have died like years ago. I don't know how you dealt with him so long. Believe me when I say I wish I had aborted him, said Mother, sharing a laugh with Sister. You hear that? You hear that? You're no good, son. I wish I had the sense to abort you. I wish you did too, said Tabitha, wiping her lips with a cloth napkin. Well, it's never too late. Consider this a late-term abortion, said Father as he poured Mother more wine. A very late-term abortion. The table burst in laughter. I pushed my chair back, placed my napkin on the table, and was about to get up when Tabitha stopped me. If you get up, I'll bite your dick off, she said, as direct and blunt as her sweet, soft voice could manage. And I'll put you down like a dog, said Father, dropping a cold .38 revolver on the table, the weight of which caused the other inanimate objects to tremble in fear. I don't understand. What did I do? I asked, scanning the faces for an ounce of sympathy. What did you do? Mother boasted with laughter. You were born. I love you and all, baby brother, but it's pretty sad and pathetic that you put up this whole poor me act. Just be a man and snort all of that blow. Your sister is right, son, but it's partially my fault for not slapping that entitled mentality out of you when you were little. You broke my arm when I was 8, I said, cocking my head as I watched for a reaction. You said it was because I was singing like a faggot. Should have broke both, and maybe then you would have learned your lesson. But no, you were still the biggest fag this city has ever seen. I'm not even gay, I said, uttering confused as I fished for a shred of humanity from Tabitha. I'm engaged, for fuck's sakes. You're a fag, a giant fag. Now do us all a favor and die. Tabitha's words were sharp as knives. That's it, said Father, as he got up from the seat like a giant beast of a man. He pointed right at me. I told you enough times to watch your mouth, but you apparently don't fear me. I want to put the fear back into your heart, my little faggot son. Father fumed as he stormed out of the room, almost breaking the sliding door with his rage. What's he doing? I asked, hoping someone would come to their senses. Don't worry about that, Steve, said Tabitha. Just hurry up and die already. Where is this coming from? Jesus Christ, Tabitha yelled, expressing disdain with her hands. Why do you have to be such a selfish asshole? Just snort the coke and die. You need to do it, son, said Mother, shaking her head in disappointment. He's not going to do it, Mom, said Sister, as she reached for the revolver. Why don't we just put a bullet in his head and be done with it? Because we're not murderers, dear. Mother gave Sister a strange smile and took another sip of wine. Father barged back in like a bull, shoving the sliding door into the wall and coming straight for me. Son, open your mouth, said Father in a harsh, demanding tone. He held a funnel in one hand and a bottle of bleach in the other. I shook my head. Open your goddamn mouth or I will open it for you. I shook my head and tried to run away. But my father pinned me to the wall and yelled in my ear, "Oh, the big man wants to run away. What a big man you are, talking to your mother like that, being such a little faggot. Maybe I should speak your language. Open your fucking mouth." "Dad, stop," I whimpered, trying to squirm out from his grip. Father pounded his fist against the wall just a hair away from my face and yelled like a tyrant, "You defy this family with your existence. You defy this fucking family with your goddamn fucking existence. I should have shoved a coat hanger up your mom's cunt and ended you then, but I didn't. And because of that, we have to endure 30 years of your bullshit." Father shoved a hand into my mouth and pulled my bottom jaw down. He rammed the funnel down my throat and popped the cap off the bottle of bleach and poured it down. I tried to fight. I tried to fight him off. I tried to resist, but Father was too strong. "Don't be such a fucking faggot," said Tabitha. "Yeah, I hope Dad kills you right now," said Sister. "Okay, dear, that's enough," Mother said. Her words managed to subdue Father's rage, just like that he stopped pouring. "That's right. That would be criminal." He pulled out the funnel and placed the items on the table. I grasped my throat and winced from the burning in pain. I coughed and managed to produce words. "Fuck you." Father looked at me like I was a dog that had just shat all over the couch. Mother got up from the seat and eased him back to his seat. This whole thing is criminal," I squeezed out for me. Weak and delirious, I clumped back into my chair, staring at the platter of Coke. It looked wonderful, and I couldn't resist. I took the straw and placed it in my preferred nostril and began snorting. I started from the bottom of the D and went straight up the line. "Like the faggot junkie he always was," said Father, breathing deeply. "All the money we lent you, all the help we gave you, the years in rehab, you're still just a no-good druggy fag." "Oh, fuck," I said, pulling away from the straw, rubbing my nose. "Where the fuck did you get this stuff?" "Why does it matter?" said Tabitha. She guided my head back down to the platter of Coke. I'll watch you snort off a black man's cock. Remember that night? The night where you got trained by Tyrone and his friends? They plowed into your ass and left you bleeding. The medical bills, the ass blood on our sheets. The sheets we got as a housewarming gift. "I'm sorry," I said. I tried to resist snorting more, but she was right. I fucked up. I fucked up a lot. I snorted along the curve of the D, going down. Euphoric waves washed over me. My heart raced like crazy, pounded against my chest. "That breaks my heart to see this," said Mother. "Reminds me of how much we sacrificed for you. When all this time we should have just let you die." Mother cried. I looked up to find tears running down her face despite bathing in a calming numb. Despite bathing in a calming numb, I could feel the pain. Father took her into his arms, comforted her like a wounded animal, while looking right at me as if I am the sole reason for all this. I know I'm ignoring you, chat. I'm not ignoring you. I'm in the zone. "Why the fuck do you care?" said Father, glaring at me. "If you didn't want this, then why the fuck did you not change your ways when we paid for your rehab, when we bailed you out of jail, and we paid off your debts to the Asians, or how we paid for every fucking hour for drug treatment and therapy?" Father's words punched me in the face, and I went back to the one thing that could take the pain away. I snorted the rest of the D, getting all the particles of Coke like a desperate fiend. "That's right, brother," said Sister. I sat up in my chair, rubbing my thumb against my nose, and couldn't care less about the sarcastic grin on her face. "This is for all those times you stole from me." "No," I said, feeling the intense rush of blood. through my veins. I can't take it anymore. I wiped the sweat off my face with a cloth napkin and noticed how drenched it became. Too bad, because I can't take another day with you. My sister chugged her wine and gently placed a glass on the table. Mom, Dad, I said, glancing at them. I don't know where you got this stuff. It's so pure. Your brother got it from evidence for us, said Father as he rubbed the mother's shoulders. You know, like the time he put his career on the line to make evidence disappear for you? It hadn't occurred to me when my brother wasn't at the table, or how it was that the family with connections with law enforcement wouldn't be bothered by the ethical problems of possessing drugs, especially drugs stolen from evidence. Right now, your brother's having to cover up his tracks so that this family can finally move on and heal. We need you to finish up and die. Just die. Tabitha patted me on the back and smiled. It'll be quick. Afterwards, we can all move on and be better. No, I can't, I said, pushing away from the table. Tabitha raised a knife over my crotch and said, I will stab you in the dick if you get up. You're joking, I said, searching her anger for a shred of humor. There was none. You wouldn't possibly. As I pushed away from the table, Tabitha stabbed me in the dick. The cold, sharp blade sliced my limp member like a summer sausage, and blood spilled out like a ruptured pipe. I wasn't joking, said Tabitha coldly. No shit, I cried, wrapping my hands around the bleeding wound. You still trying to process what just happened. Jesus Christ, what is wrong with you? Tabitha, I appreciate your help, but you made one hell of a mess, said Sister, as she got up from the table. I'll get some towels. Don't bother, said Father. Don't bother, said Father with the index finger in the air. Look at the way he's holding the handle. Look at the way he's holding the handle. We could say it's self-inflicted. Great idea, Dad, said Sister, as she leaned on the chair. I think we could say, I think we could use more wine. I'm in the mood for Moscato. Oh, that sounds lovely, said Mother. Someone call 911. I'm fucking dying here, I said, breathing heavily, slamming my fist on the table. Good, said Mother as she smiled at Father. He's really going to die. It's going to happen. Waves of numb went in and out like the tide. Throbbing pain seeped in, growing stronger by the second. With no other recourse, I took the straw and I did the one thing I could think of to chase the pain away. I traced the eye from the bottom to the top, taking miniature breaks as I slowly worked my way up. You know what I just thought about, said Father, as he held the revolver casually. With all this mess, we could have just shot him and made it seem like a suicide. Yeah, but we're not murderers, said Mother in her sweet voice. But would it be murder? I mean, would it be murder if you did it? You're the mom. Isn't it your choice whether he lives or dies? But he's a grown man, she said, running her hand on the cold metal of the gun. So, his existence is a financial burden and a potential health risk. Think of all the money he has caused us, all the wear and tear the stress has done to your body. He possesses a health risk to you and to the family. You have a point, she said, placing her hand over his. You know I do. It could be worse. What if he pissed off the wrong people and they threaten us? We gotta just do it. I heard the tone in her voice, and I knew she was warming up to the idea of murdering me in cold blood. And as the toxic words dug into my brain, I snorted more and more. I raced to see if I could overload my heart before she could put a bullet into my head. I snorted more and more, taking every particle, filling my heart, pound violently, filling my blood, flow through my veins. The finish line was near. I could feel it. I was closing in the middle of the E when I heard the gun go off. There you go. Now, I'll take a look at what you guys were saying. I'm sorry. I was in the zone, guys. I was in the zone. That story's gonna die. It's fun. It was fun to write. It's fun to read. It's very fun to read. Oh god, that was great. You guys, are you guys familiar with Kafka's works? Huh? Or do you not read Jewish literature? Of course you read Jewish literature. If you don't read Jewish literature, you don't read a lot of stuff. Come on now. All right, what were you guys saying? What are you guys saying? Come on. I'm sorry. And look at the size of the pupils. Can't find a pirated version of the UFO anthology. Someone doesn't like the music. I like the music. The music's fine. The music's background. You gotta have the music. How's it going? The true fans of the chat, let's go. All right. Is this story about Axel? You could say the story is about Axel. That's what's great about it. That's why I didn't give any names for the parents. It's more relatable that way. I was like, let's make them not have names. And then people will be like, oh, this is like a diary then. This is like Deadman's diary. Deadman isn't reading. He's improvising on the fly. Oh, it's a short story for real. The music is the murder weapon. The music's fine. I guess you guys don't like Castlevania. No, it's just chill. Just chill jazz to go with this. Whatever. Stream of consciousness. Exo will love this. He will love it. He will. It's probably disavow Axel. Yeah, Axel's probably watching. He probably does watch. Oh no, he probably isn't watching because I didn't put his name in the title. If I put his name in the title, he would be watching. I love Kafka, but I don't remember Kafka writing about black cock. Well, it's a modern day Kafka, okay? It's a modern day. Kafka probably hated black people too. He probably did. A lot of people did back then. It's like that. I wanted to take just absurd thing, combine. What if there was that black sheep of the family that was like on trial at the dinner table and they wanted to kill him? What would happen? I actually had a friend of mine when I wrote this. A friend I had in high school. His name is, I'm not going to say his name, but he was a cokehead. Believe it or not, I've never actually done coke. I mean, this whole thing's just a fucking act, as you can tell, but, some people are going to believe it, whatever. I live a pretty basic life. I think Axel was right. I'm actually probably more boring than mundane Matt. Well, other than the fact that my kids are actually my biological kids. Oh, shit. I never done coke in my life. That's the truth. But that friend of mine, Eddie, I'll say his name, Eddie. God damn, he was a train wreck. God damn. I always wish he got help though. I don't know if he got help. I don't know. It's weird to be a junior in high school and already have a coke problem, already have run-ins with like low-tier Asian mafia people, whatever. That's weird, right? That shouldn't be happening. You're like on a bad path in life if you're doing that. My favorite part of the story is the bleach part. And the dad's pouring bleach down his fucking throat. The juice always bring it to the kids' stories. Yeah. The trial or the castle? I was thinking the trial on this one. That's what I was thinking. All right, so that was Die. I think I'll put 2 stories on this list. The other one is Mr. Deadman made me do it. Let's see if we have time for that. Eddie was the main character in the Lansdale novel. Oh yeah. Boo! Boo to you, Tom. Boo to you too. Or boo to me. All right. Or maybe you're trying to be a ghost. You're scaring me, Tom. Scaring me. Where's Bronx Beats? Mr. Deadman made me do it. Oh, I might have blocked Bronx Beats. Because I want him to confess something. I want him to admit that he is he is a closeted homosexual. Okay, he needs to come clean on that. Look, we're about revealing and healing. Okay, come clean, be honest with yourself, reveal. You don't have to hide. Just come out. It's okay. He's a closet homosexual. I know because he sucked my dick. Okay. I would provide the receipts, but that would be doxing, and I don't want to dox Bronx Beats. That's mean. He's a pretty good cocksucker. Bronx Beats is. He is a really good cocksucker. I gotta say, shit, beats my wife. I mean, shit. I'm not gonna say too much about my wife, but I'm just saying. God damn. It was just like the moment his lips touched I was like, holy shit, he's sucking. Oh fuck. It's sucking right out of me. Sucking the jizz right out. My Bronx has autism. You need to be patient. Is that why he sucks so good? You know, I never banged an autistic chick before, but I mean, maybe there's something to that. Maybe what's his name? The fucking Canadian potato, the fucking French potato fucker, JF. Maybe JF has something. Maybe fucking Tards is good. Maybe. Some tard fucking. That should be a thing. Should be like an annual event. Annual tard fucking. Anyway, what am I talking about? Let's read the story. Mr. Deadman made me do it. I think this is based off a true story, so. All right, got my coffee in a cover. Comfy as fuck story time. This one is not as dark. This one's actually pretty much straightforward. This one's pretty much a straightforward horror, okay? There's no explicits, okay? Die is pretty explicit. I could not read die on Twitch. I'd get banned. I couldn't even read die in the library. It would kick me out. I couldn't even read any of my stories in the library. You know, my parents are always like, why don't you write something normal? I can't, Mom, because of you. I'm just joking, Mom. Or am I? Pour me some Maker's Mark. Actually, the liquor in our family is usually Gentleman Jack. But Maker's Mark is good. I got some Gentleman Jack right there, but I'll be doing something after this. So I need to be focused. Anyways, story starts like this. Mr. Deadman made me do it. On August 11th, 2018, I received a call from the Freeport Police Department. As a seasoned caseworker, I knew this wouldn't be good. Law enforcement requested immediate Child Protective Services assistance. Just moments before, I had entertained the thought of going home to spend time with my wife and kids. The items of a pleasant weekend danced in my mind, the sizzling of a grill, the taste of cold beer, and the comfort of just a moment of relaxation. All that had been completely shattered because of this call. Lieutenant Gomez informed me that they had what appeared to be a murder-suicide, and there was a child that was left home alone without any caregiver to speak of. Lieutenant Gomez added that they would have tried to reach extended family members, but the kid was refusing to talk to them. I arrived at the residence to find a one-story brick home. Three police cruisers were parked out in front of the home. In the yard, a middle-aged, overweight Hispanic officer spoke to three other officers. The Hispanic officer noticed my approach and immediately went to greet me. "Glad you're here. We got one hell of a mess," said Lieutenant Gomez as he shook my hand. Don't we always, I said, trying to convince myself that this was ordinary. The cold gaze from the blonde officer behind Lieutenant Gomez spoke volumes. Where's the boy? He's inside, refusing to come out of the home. Like he has a choice, I said, filling my equipment bag to ensure myself that I have everything I need. Can't y'all just drag him out of there? Well, yeah, we could. But with you, maybe we could take a softer approach. Lieutenant Gomez followed me as I approached the wide-open front door. "You guys normally this tense?" I asked as I took off my sunglasses. "You'll see why. Just don't touch anything," said Lieutenant Gomez as he motioned for me to step inside the house. Just from the threshold, something seemed amiss. While the interior had a clean vanilla fragrance about it, underneath lingered a faint, unnerving scent of copper. The entrance led directly to a hall decorated with framed family photos. Each and every one of these photos showcased beaming smiles and sunny dispositions. Photos of a father and son celebrating a successful hunt. Photos of a mother and father celebrating an anniversary, perhaps. All of the happiness was a stark contrast to the blood-smeared carpet and dead bodies in the living room. "The mom has over 20 stab wounds to the gut." I said gunt. I wrote gut, but I said gunt. "The mom has over 20 stab wounds to the gut. We found the dad with several throat and knife. Damn, I can't read right now. We found the dad with a severed throat and a knife in his hand," said Lieutenant Gomez coldly. "We think the dad stabbed the mom over and over and decided to cut his own throat." "A knife?" I said in disbelief. "They didn't have a gun?" "They did, actually. We found a handgun in the nightstand in the parents' bedroom." I turned and noticed him. The boy sat in the corner, far from his dead mother and father. Dressed in a Minecraft t-shirt and blue jeans, he had blood on his hands, shirt, and white shoes. The boy rocked back and forth. He ran his hands through his hair. "That's him," said Lieutenant Gomez as he adjusted his hat. I stared at the boy, watching him as he seemed unaware of our presence. "Hey, kid," I said as I stepped closer. "I'm sorry about your mom and dad." The boy did not respond. "Hey, you have a name?" I knelt down in front of him. With a finger, I lifted his chin to get a better look at him. His forehead drenched in sweat, eyes wide and blank, mouth quiet yet moving. "You there, kid?" The boy did not respond. "Come on, kid," I said, trying to smile. Let's get you out of here." The boy didn't respond. Again, he sat there, while his lips continued to move, as if trying to say something. I leaned in closer, but his whispers were just too faint for me to register. "Do we need to carry him?" asked Lieutenant Gomez. "Maybe, but I have an idea," I said as I fumbled through my equipment bag for a pad and pen. I could feel Lieutenant Gomez watching me as I handed them over to the boy. I realized I really didn't think it would work, but despite my reservations, the boy, without breaking from his blank stare, grabbed the pad and pen and immediately, and still without breaking from his blank stare, the boy began to scribble nonsense on the paper. "What is this?" asked Lieutenant Gomez. "I've seen this before with another client. They're not nearly as bad," I said. While watching with growing amazement, the boy's nonsense scribble began to make sense. Spelling out the phrase "Mr. Deadman" made me do it. "What's a Mr. Deadman?" asked Lieutenant Gomez. The boy stopped scribbling on the paper. "Come on, tell me about this Mr. Deadman guy," I said, trying to get the boy to respond. I placed a hand on the boy's shoulder. The boy lodged the pen into his throat and began with enough force to pierce through the flesh. Blood gushed. Oh my god. Poor kid. Oh my god, it does have a kid dying in it. Oh my god. Oh my god. No one in these stories, no one survives, man. "What the fuck?" I asked, as Lieutenant Gomez shoved me aside and shouted for help. Flabbergasted by what I saw, I dropped to the floor like a sack of rocks and watched as officers and EMT rushed to help the boy. The hand I used to try to comfort the boy, was wet with blood. His blood that had spilled because of me. Two officers struggled with restraining the boy, while an EMT tried to wrestle the pen out from the boy's hand. The boy continued to stab the pen into his neck again and again. The officers pulled on the arm, and they couldn't get them in a hold. It's a crazy force. Crazy boy, right? Crazy situation. What the hell? He must be possessed, right? He's a Mr. Deadman guy. He's evil. What's going on? The EMT acted quickly and tried to stop the self-harming. And after several failed attempts, the EMT grabbed the pin and yanked it out of the boy's hand. What the boy did next wrecked my core. Even without the pin in his hand, the boy actively and aggressively tried to mutilate his neck. He attacked his throat with his bare hands, completely shredding through flesh. The officers and EMT all tried to stop him, but by the time the EMT prepped the chemical restraint, he had severed it through major arteries and lost a ton of blood. It was it. It was over. We all looked at one another with a horrible realization. The EMT checked the wound to find that the boy had nearly decapitated himself. He's not surviving this, said the EMT, looking at everyone. My mind went blank. My body operated on autopilot, and before I knew it, I was out of the home, fumbling for my cell phone. Not sure what I was doing, I scanned through my contacts on my phone and dialed up the on-call supervisor. Miss Lopez, I said, words slipping through my mouth. You know that murder-suicide case that went on? I think the boy is dead. Well, quite clearly the boy is dead. Jesus. I must have been watching a lot of CSI when I wrote this, because the dialogue is like, okay. I think the boy is dead. Yeah, of course the boy is dead. Jesus Christ. Is Bronx Beats white? I don't want to comment on Bronx Beats race, okay? I know it means a lot to him, okay? I'm not going to comment on it, all right? All right? But I will say, when the lights were off, I couldn't see him, and it was great. It was like I could pretend like my dick was being sucked by the air around it, by some sort of night demon. Okay, it was great. Continuing on with the story, though my Friday evening was shot by casework, it seemed that I would definitely be able to enjoy the weekend. Now this line is weird. Like, why would that happen with all this stuff? We'll see. Despite the gravity of the case of the murder-suicide, I was relieved that the case was reassigned to the child death unit. One less case to worry about, but it was far from over. I knew for sure I would be chewed out about it in the morning. The board would sniff through everything I did up to the point that the child died, looking for anything they could scold me for. At best, they'll just chastise me. At worst, they'll fire me. I arrived home to find that all the lights were out and that my wife and kids were asleep, leftover pizza on the counter, empty soda cans on the table near the flat screen. It looked like the kiddos had a blast tonight. That's good. I breathed in deeply and relished in that thought. While waiting on the pizza to reheat in the microwave, my thoughts drifted to what life was like when I was younger. Childhood memories played in my head. Some good, some bad, but all fond in an odd, nostalgic way. The microwave beeped, and though I could hear it chime, I was still lost in my thoughts. At least, until I heard something I've never heard before. From the hall where my kids sleep came an unusual sound of what could be described as laughter. But I wasn't so sure. I followed the sound, and as soon as I stepped into the hall, it went away. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw something move in the pocket of darkness that was the hallway bathroom. With a flick of the light, I found my 5-year-old son in his pajamas about to climb into a bathtub. He froze like a deer in the headlights, with one foot submerged in water and with a toaster held under his arm. "Son, what are you doing?" I asked, not sure if I was if what I was seeing was real. My son looked at me and smiled and proceeded to climb into the bathtub. "What are you doing?" I swooped in and picked him up. My son kicked his feet against my chest, pounding his hands against my back. "Son, what the hell's gotten into you?" I looked my son in the eyes for a moment. Our blue eyes For a moment, our blue eyes connected, and I could see my son recognize me. But then he slammed the toaster against my head. I dropped my son and fell on my ass. As if possessed by something, my son went up to the bathroom wall and began bashing his head against the tile. What in the Jesus fuck, I said, scared shitless. I got back up. I picked up my son and a bear hug and carried him into his room. The whole time, my son kicking and squirmed, but never said a single word, never made a single sound. After closing his bedroom door, I dropped my son on his bed. I prayed that he would stay. I prayed that he would snap out of whatever had him, but prayers didn't mean shit. My son pushed himself off the bed and stared blankly at the far corner of his room. My skin began to crawl as a chill ran down my spine. My son, as if caught in a trance, nodded to something he could only hear. Nodded to something only he could hear. I tried to wave my hands in front of his eyes. Nothing. I tried snapping my fingers at his ears. Nothing. Not sure what to do. I thought it best to get help from my wife. I was about to leave the room when my son looked at me directly and said, "Mr. Deadman says it's time for you to die." I was speechless. I not sure how to really react. "We're all going to kill you, Dad." "Son," I said, slamming back at him. "You do not talk like that. You understand me?" Out of all the ways to react, right? I mean, it's like, okay. It's like, how do you react to something like that? How do you react in a situation like that? My son just stared at me. His eyes still seemed innocent and childlike. Just like that, he darted out of his bedroom door. I followed him down the hall, through the kitchen, and into the master bedroom. On the bed, cast in shadow, an amber hue from the closet light, was something small on top of my wife. After my eyes adjusted to the darkness, I found that my 3-year-old daughter had stabbed my wife several times with a steak knife. My wife tried to make sounds, but the bleeding wound in her neck made that difficult. "What the fuck is happening here?" I screamed. I searched for the metal baseball bat my wife and I kept beside the nightstand in case of a robbery, but it was gone. "Want to play ball, Dad?" I turned around to find my son swinging the bat, slamming it right into my nuts. Oh, Jesus Christ. God damn. I whelped in pain and fell to the floor. I tried to get up, but my son wouldn't relent. He brought the bat down on me again, aiming for my face. But I somehow managed to catch it. Something snapped inside me, and I pulled the weapon away from the boy, and with such force that he flew forward. Without skipping a beat, I swung the bat right and knocked the boy square in the face. The impact of the metal to the forehead dropped the boy down to the ground. "Daddy, come play with Mommy," said my daughter, as she continued to stab my wife's abdomen. My precious smiled at me, as if this was the happiest day of her life. She was painted red with blood. My wife's blood. I went to swing the bat at my daughter. "I love you, Daddy," she said, reaching for my head. I choked. I lowered the bat. Baby, come on. Come with me," I said, extending out an open hand. My daughter smiled and grabbed my hand. We shared a moment, or at least I thought, when suddenly she stabbed the knife into my arm. With rage and pain flowing through me, I swung the bat, but a sudden sharp pain on my leg threw off my aim. My son had clapped his jaw on my calf. I kicked my leg, trying to knock him off, but he was on my calf like a dog on a precious bone. Out of options, I slammed the bat down on my son's face over and over until he let go. Jesus Christ, this is a brutal story. Sidestepping to knock him off, I managed to avoid getting a knife in my chest. My daughter, with a knife in hand, landed face first on the floor when she tried to charge at me. "Mr. Deadman wants you dead," said my daughter as she got up from the floor. I ran out of there as fast as I could, storming out from the house to find a worrisome predicament. Through the window of the house across the street, I could see my neighbors running from little demented terrors of their own. Screaming came from the house next door. Further on down the block, a woman ran in panic while a child with a handgun chased her. Mr. Deadman made me do it, said in unison behind me. Every bone in my body protested. Turning around to face them. But curiosity took the better of me. My son stood there with my wife's .38 revolver he must have found in her bedroom. My daughter had the 12-gauge shotgun cradled in her tiny arms, or tiny hands. And it ends like that. I mean, you get how it's going to go. Oh my God. Deadman bashed Bronx's head on the tiles. Rest in peace, Bronx. Imagine your dad sitting in the garage having fantasies like this. Well, they're not fantasies. Jesus Christ. Oh. Imagine being so salty over Deadman he had to try to cuck his audience by streaming this to VC. Who streamed this to VC? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that's a demented story. These little demented story hour things are nice. You get more of the mind of, I guess, me. Of shit. I mean, it's pretty dark, man. I promise you, not all my stories are like this fucked up. But it seems like they all are. Next time, we could read Cynthia's Garden, or Creekside. Creekside's pretty good. Creekside is more like it's like a Stranger Things sort of thing, but if Stranger Things took place in a trailer park. Like, there are consistent themes. Like trailer parks, homelessness, shitty dads, alcoholism, drugs. Cynthia's Garden is if I don't know, some Discord tranny like sucked you up into her, like into her, between her thighs or something. Jesus. None of these are good stories. They're not good, wholesome stories. You wouldn't read these stories around a campfire. God damn. I'll write some campfire stories. You want to see the wheelchair? I would show you the wheelchair. But Bronx Beats sucked my dick so good, I can actually walk now. I don't need Braps. Bronx Beats sucked me off so good, I can walk. It's like a Jesus miracle. And then that might sound blasphemous, so I kind of combine that together. But, do you think I'm a wholesome guy? How the shit I write. I don't have a wholesome bone in my body. What the fuck? I'm a demented, warped son of a bitch, man. The only thing stopping me from being full-on degenerate, full-on deplorable, is I'm restraining myself. That's it. I know I'm fucked up. But I have several layers of things to keep that in check. And the only time it comes out is like when I write these things and talk to you guys, I guess, apparently. Apparently the Mr. Deadman story is coming to light, right? I shared the story about Trailer 85 at Fox Meadows, how I went over there and, there's all sorts of crazy shit going on. Cocaine and MILF that was whoring out her 18-year-old daughter. Not to me, anyway. But, there's other shit going on in that trailer. Cocaine and booze, What's going to happen next time? You have a wholesome boner in your body? Not a wholesome boner, either. I'm as wholesome as a nun, man. That's how wholesome I am, which is not wholesome at all. As a lesbian nun, okay. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna take care of some stuff. Turbo Bussy. What's your weirdest story you've wrote? Oh, we're gonna get there. Cynthia's Garden is probably the weirdest. Cynthia's Garden is actually, you guys think Turbo Sled is weird. Turbo Sled Squirrel. It doesn't have shit. Cynthia's Garden isn't about shit or eating shit or anything to do with the ass. But Cynthia's Garden is pretty fucked up. You will not want to eat pussy ever again. Ever. After Cynthia's Garden. Okay? You won't want to eat at Arby's ever again after Cynthia's Garden. It's pretty messed up. We'll read that next time. Okay? All right? Crouching Broom, Hidden Janny. Yeah. Show the tiger poster. There you go. There's the tiger poster. What was the tiger's name? What was the name? We got the name. Apparently it's a furry. Here, let me show you. This is what Bronx Beats did to me. I would do a little jig if I could, but I need more. Bronx Beats needs to come over tonight. Bronx Beats, you're going to suck my dick tonight. That's what you're going to do. Don't hide it. Don't hide it, man. You're going to do it. Suck my dick. You liked it. You told me you liked it. Behind the tiger is a wall of shame and misery. Bloodstains, jizz, dead roaches, vomit. It's all there. Show belt buckle. I'm not wearing a belt today. These pants actually fit. Oh, and how am I doing on the fasting? Pretty good. I've not had a meal today at all. I will eat a small thing pretty soon, and then I'll go do some work. Pretty much it's a water fast. Water fasting. Because I need to get down from 252 and get down to at least 230. 230 is reasonable. Jesus Christ, I'm getting too fat. Well, anyway, with that said, you guys take it easy. Have a good one.